Hey there, welcome to Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. My name is Desiree. In this video, I'm doing a shadow reading for Pisces. The moon is in Pisces today, and so that's why I've decided to start out the readings for the day in Pisces. For this series, I am using the Goliath tarot deck. He created this tarot deck with the shadow in mind in in the hopes of helping people express, realize the shadow and to help with shadow work. So this deck is a tad bit on the dark side, but I love it. I'm also using the True Black Tarot, and then I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Medicine Woman's Oracle right here. So let's go ahead and start with the smudging. I did get a new lighter. It's nice to have a lighter that works when you need it to. Okay, so this reading is for Pisces, but however, not every Pisces is going to be going through the exact same thing at the exact same time. So if this reading is not resonating with you, please check out the readings for your rising sign or your moon sign. And you can also check your sidereal sign as well, because the Sidereal Astrology uses the true sky, the true sizes of the constellations. Oop, I'm sorry, did not mean to bump that right there. Okay, so without further ado, I moved things around yesterday. I wanted to do a couple of readings in the nighttime. However, I could not get the lighting right, and I tried candles, I tried my little oil lamps, and I just couldn't get it. So anyway, that's why everything's a little jostled around here. So, and I would like to give a shout out to Serpent and is it Serpent and Dove? Dove and Serpent Tarot. I guess, has shared my readings. I had a couple of people comment and say that they were from Dove and Serpent Tarot, and I am just truly honored that another reader would suggest that. Thank you so much. I do know I've been chatting with Lenore, Dove and Serpent's wife. She has a wonderful tea leaf reading channel, which I frequent, and I guess she and I have become buddies, I guess, if you could call that. I love Lenore's readings, and her voice is just so calming and soothing, and yes, so thank you to the both of them. So sweet. I know as a new YouTube creator, it's always nice to kind of have a little bit a spreading of the word. It's kind of hard to get in there as a newbie, but so thank you so much to the both of you. You guys are amazing, and what an honor it is to have people from other people's channels just mentioning you. I just feel so, it warms my heart. It really does. Okay, so Pisces, let's see what we have for your shadow reading today. The Sun in reverse, karmic release, and the hidden inner strength. Okay, so Goliath, the creator of this deck, he also created some extra cards. I think there's about 8, and I think it's interesting because when I started reading for this series, I am certain I pulled these out, and somehow they managed to get their way back into the deck. And and the reason why I pulled them out is because though I've had this deck for a while and I've done lots of readings with this deck, these cards don't always pop up, and so I'm not quite as familiar with them, and so I was just apprehensive about having them in a reading. But so far it's been okay, because I do know what these mean on I do know what they mean. It's just that, I guess it's that push into the pool that you need sometimes. So okay, anyhow, the sun in reverse. So this is our major arcana card, and then these two here are the extra cards that Goliath put in. The sun in reverse. Some readers say that this card is the same, whether it's reversed or not, because this is like, quote unquote, the happiest card in the deck. And because the sun is basically our life giver. It gives us light. It's the photosynthesis that the plants need. It gives us as humans vitamin D, warmth, and I mean, we just need the sun in so many different ways. So but when I see the sun upside down, I feel that something is not being either like illuminated or not being used properly. That goodness is somehow being blocked or not realized, maybe even underappreciated. And then we have this karmic release deer here. The subtitle to this card is The Sacred Karmic Deer. And that's basically releasing the karma, and also releasing generational curses, generational traumas. It's something that is being held on to that might not necessarily quite belong to you or this lifetime. However, it was being held at a time, and it was creating some sort of disharmony within yourself, and this is you actually releasing it. So this is an extremely good card, and this is a good card as well, the hidden inner strength, the shadow cat. So we see this kitty, I love cats, sitting here, and he just looks a little meek, maybe a little afraid, as cats are, but behind him, his shadow is just this roaring beast of a kitty. And so basically what this means is that there is something inside of you that either you're not expressing, you're hiding it, but there's something inside of you that's greater than you realize. And so this card is maybe telling you, excuse me, to release that. So Pisces, I am going to use the True Black Tarot to get us some more information on this, to dive a little bit deeper. My oldest daughter is a Pisces, and she woke up today with a stomach ache, and I follow this astrologer on YouTube, and I saw one of her quick posts, and she said about the moon being in Pisces and also the sun's in Libra. And because Pisces kind of like to hide away from people, they're really sensitive, and that's definitely describes my daughter. They're very sensitive, and they can pick up on energies very easily. So they like to like to be alone and don't like to be in crowded spaces. But the Libra likes people, wants to be out there, wants to, wants everybody to get along and everybody to be happy. And so there's kind of like a, sort of like polar opposites working together here with the sun in Libra and the moon in Pisces. And she said that it actually causes a stomach ache. And so up until that point, I was a little upset with Ava for, she missed the bus, and of course I had to take her. So I was kind of upset about all that. But then I read that post, and I just, I sort of released that upsetness, and Ava is a very sensitive soul, so I have to remember that. Okay, Pisces, let's see what we have for the sun in reverse. Anyway, I do think that's interesting how astrology just kind of explains our physical world. And at this time in my life, I'm trying to reconcile sidereal astrology with the tropical astrology. So they both seem to work. So anyhow, let's get back on track. The sun in reverse. So we've got the King of Wands, fire. Then we've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. That is earth. And then we've got the Chariot in reverse. That's a major arcana card. All right, so our major arcana card here, as we were just talking about the sun in Libra and the moon in Pisces, those being opposites, this is about harnessing those opposing forces and you know, conquering them. That's kind of a harsh word, but getting them to work together, and getting them to work for you, right? That's what the Chariot is about. It's forward movement with those two unseemingly partners. We didn't think that they could work together, but we get them to work together in this Chariot card, and it's all about that forward movement, getting that momentum of you know, the energy of opposites and getting them to work together. However, with it being in reverse, there is a stall in that. The King of Pentacles, this is a fire card. All the kings are air, and he's in the suit of fire. So we can tell that there is some passion, there is some calculated movement. However, I do see that there is a lack of like physical work, lack of bring it into the physicality, bring it into our world that we call earth. You know, we have our mental plane, then we have our passionate plane, our fire plane, our ignition, our upstarting, and then we have our pentacle suit, which is this physical plane that we live in. This is where we build our houses, this is where we work our jobs, this is where we build friendships and stuff like that. So it's very important that we mesh all four of those elements together within our lives, and there can't be a what's the word? There can't be like too much of a weighing on one side. You know, we've got to kind of keep it equal. We don't want to be too much in the clouds in our heads. We don't want to be too much in our hearts and our emotions. We don't want to be too much in our actions where we're not paying attention to anything else besides, you know, what we've got to do. You know, we've got to pay attention to our bodies. We've got to pay attention to our houses. And so I'm seeing that there is a neglect in that. And I do like how there's just this line of gold going across right here. I mean, it's pretty. It's kind of like it's actually shrinking down a little bit. Like this king, he's gold, and then the gold is not so shiny down here, and it's kind of concentrated right here, and then we just have the Chariot's cape behind him with the gold. So let's get a read on this karmic release. So we've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Then we've got the Devil. And we've got the King of Cups. Awesome. So you've got two kings here, Pisces. And that's great. This is water. This is our major arcana card, the Devil. And then we've got some more earth over here. So I've definitely noticed that our two earth cards here, our grounded cards, our physical cards, are in reverse. But also we've got the Devil, and this has to do with our earthly, what should I call them? Our earthly desires, you know, the things that we maybe overindulge in. And sometimes it's hard to see that it's actually an overindulgence. And as I'm saying that, I am thinking about the Coke that I just poured, and that is one of my overindulgences. I'm going to actually take a sip right now. I actually have been trying to stop drinking Coke for a good maybe 20 years now. It doesn't do well for me, and but I still continue to drink it, which is very strange. And I guess you could say that it is an addiction, though if I really put my mind to it, I can stop. You know, just like every person who likes something they don't want to stop. And so that's kind of what the devil is, you know. It's something that is very pleasurable, and it's not necessarily good for you. It's an overindulgence, and everything, as I tell my daughter this as well, I mean, everything has to be moderated. We can even have too much water. We can hyperventilate with too much air, you know. So everything has an equilibrium, and we've got to find that within ourselves. And so what I'm seeing here in this with this Three of Pentacles, the Devil, and the King, I do feel that that you're not quite paying attention to your physical. You probably might be a lot in your emotional state, which would make sense if you're releasing some of this karmic energies that you've been holding on to for, you know, maybe even generations. However, this devil card here just it's kind of contradictory for me, being that these two cards, they just seem so positive, and yet we have this devil card here. And let me get a reading on this inner strength, and we'll come back and revisit this column. I do love this devil card. In case you didn't see, she actually has 4 arms, and she has, her hands are black. I'm sure that has some symbolism in it. And she's holding on to a chain here. This one, she's beckoning you. Here, she's holding on to her heart. And here, she's just telling you to be quiet. Okay, so hidden inner strength, the shadow cat. So we've got the Three of Cups. This Three of Cups has been showing up quite a lot in this series. And this card has to do with relationships among a group. Now, that can be a family group, that can be a friend group, it can also be a close relationship with coworkers, any kind of group, religious, whatever. More than 2 people, that's for sure. But there's a definite emotional connection between all the members of this group. And then we have another king, the King of Swords in reverse. And another, oh, I thought that was 3, but there's 2 down here. There's 3, 6. So this is 6. This is 6 of Pentacles. And this is, we've got 8, 3, and 6 here. So we've got 2 3s in this row here. And, you know, 3s are about creation. No, this is actually a 6, but it's a 3 doubled. These 3 here are just standing out to me for some reason. I guess because they're gold and glowing. But I just keep seeing this as a 3. And what I do feel like there is some neglect going on, definitely some neglect going on in the physical world. And the Six of Pentacles is calling you to bring back that balance. The Six of Pentacles is like the philanthropy type card, and it's calling you to bring in the balance. And it's almost like you have the hidden, your inner strength has something to do with this karmic release here. And it has to do with, it's probably got to be like a family thing because of this karmic release card here. That's, like I said, a generational type energy. And so I'm feeling like you've got some work to do. You've got you've got to bring something out of this, how can I say this? You've got, so I feel like this King of Cups here, you almost need to harness this King's energy and not so much be mental about it, not think about it. It's something I think that's going to come to you almost in a dream, or it's within you actually, and it's being hidden over here with the sun in reverse. And I'm thinking like your shadow work is to discover what that is, Pisces. Like you have this hidden inner strength within you, and it's just it needs to be released. You've got something, you're holding on to something, and perhaps it's being held on and hidden deeper by some sort of addiction or something that you are participating in that's not necessarily good for your life, for your person, your body, your mind. And it is taking a toll on your physical. So what I'm seeing for you here, Pisces, is that you need to do a little bit of shadow work, of course. That's what this reading is about. But the shadow work has to do with something that has been passed on down through your family line, okay? And it can be something as simple as, I like to use the example of like the way children are treated. You know, in my family, it was always the children, and this is probably of most families. You know, I'm 43. I'm going to be 43 next month. And, you know, so I kind of have more of an old school type of family upbringing, in which children were to be seen. You know, they're not allowed to have feelings. They can't cry. You know, they can't be upset. They just got to do what needs to be done. And for me, at a young age, I was taking care of my younger brothers and sisters, and anytime anything happened and that had to deal with them, I got in trouble. And so a lot was put on me. I was like a mini adult at the age of, you know, 8. You know, definitely a latchkey kid. I had a single mom. You know, she did the best she could, and that's all we can ever expect of our parents, but it does kind of take a toll on us. And so growing up, I did not like that, but as I started to have children, I started to see that I was putting on those same type of expectations. I was treating my children the same way my mom was treating me. And it took me, it was a big eye-opener for me to realize what I was doing and why, and that it wasn't good. And I feel like I broke that emotional or that generational type, I don't know if you want to call it a curse, but I broke that within my generation. That's the way my mom was raised. My grandmother was raised like that as well, you know, and I feel like I caught it in time where I am now able, I have a great relationship with my kids, and I can speak to them on a certain level in which they are understanding, and I have patience. And so that's a type of thing that can be passed down, and it's passed down unknowingly. And that's the type of thing that you might be experiencing right now, Pisces. And perhaps you might be feeling that something needs to change and you're unaware of what it is. And you might be drowning it out in something. I can use my experience. You know, I drank a lot. And I drank because I was unhappy, and I didn't know why I was unhappy. I didn't know to fix it. I didn't even really think I was unhappy. But in hindsight, that's what it was. And once I cleared myself of that, I had an eye-opening experience, and I was able to stop. And then that's when I was able to take a step back and see what was going on. And then I was able to start making changes little by little. And it took some years to undo the damage that I had already done. But luckily my children were young enough to where it didn't take, you know, it didn't take like 30 years. So, and it did take about that long to heal the relationship with my mom, because I had some unresolved issues and some, you know, I'm a Scorpio, so we're very big grudge holders. So, and so it does take a while, is what I'm trying to say. So that was a very long explanation and a big exposure, but I use that as an example, and I hope that, that it can help. This Devil card is really good at hiding things. It is super good. That's why she's telling you to be quiet. That's why she has her finger on her lips, and she's just giving you that look. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but she's just giving you that stern, you know, almost grandmother in the corner look. Don't you dare, you know. And she wants you to be quiet, but you have got to be emotionally and mentally strong enough, because that's what our king of cups is. He is a king water of air. You know, he's in touch with his emotions, but he's also intellectually adept at assessing situations and understanding what's going on. And I think that's what you need to do, because it's definitely affecting your physical. It's affecting the way that you're working, the way that you're creating, what you're making here. And with this Three of Coins here, this is all about creating your physical. See, we have water, we have seeds, and then we have soil coming to, all coming together to make this beautiful, extremely beautiful plant. Yes, that's what I have for you, Pisces. So I need you to not so much think about how you're going to do it, but I need you to start thinking about healing yourself and understanding your shadow, because I think once you do that, all of it's going to start to come together, and it's all going to start clicking into place. We don't want too much cerebral energy in here, because this is already within you. It's already there. You just need to tap into it in sort of a metaphysical way, not so much an intellectual, you know, reading a book. So this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3. You know, it's more of kind of a flow that you need to get into. Oh my goodness, this reading is already 30 minutes long. I am so sorry. Oops, I don't read these in reverse. Okay, so we're going to pull an oracle card, Pisces. Let's do this rather quickly. So this video is going to, number 1, take a long time to load, and number 2, I'm sure you're tired of watching it right now. Okay, Pisces. Let's see. So empowerment. Ooh, this is a really good card. So assert yourself and shine your power now. And I think that goes very well with this card here, the hidden inner strength. You have got to decide that you want to make the change. Okay, once you make that decision, you can empower yourself to move forward, and I believe things will just kind of start to click in place. Once you get out of this devil situation here, I believe you will start to see things from a bird's eye view, right? And and then you'll be able to start healing, and then your inner shadow, your inner strength here is going to start coming to the surface. It's no longer going to be hiding. So I'm going to read this really quick. A woman's true value is a jewel waiting to shine. Even today, women's self-confidence remains unconquered territory. This is due to the patriarchal system in which our relation to men as protectors, predators, or work supervisors has deeply inscribed us in feeling dependent on them financially, physically, and socially. Although this is beginning to change, that ancestral imprint is still present. A new step is now presenting itself to us, the opportunity to contact our feminine power and take back our leadership. So if that card doesn't have to be just directed at women, it could also be looked at in a masculine point of view, in that this power that you have, this ability, this inner strength that you have, it's been hidden for so long, and it's been hidden because of the social structure, the family structure. It has been suppressed. And in order for you to heal and to express that inner strength, you're going to have to empower yourself to be able to crush all of those things that have been basically ingrained in you, to crush those things and to make like a new mold, a new like status quo, I guess you could say. So okay, 31 minutes. I'm going to let you go, Pisces. Thank you so much for staying with me this long. I hope this reading has helped you in some kind of way, and take care of yourself, okay? Bye now.